Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on this open mic session. We have with us our realtor, broker Salman Jamil. Salman has been with the company for a fair amount of time. This has been his first brokerage, and I hope his last brokerage. Um, we we hope to have him around for a long time to come. And thanks, Salman, for joining. I know you're going on a trip and you still took out the time to do the session with me. A little bit about Salman. He's the Master Award recipient for 2020 for Sutton Group Summit. He's a real estate broker with our company, joined the brokerage as a brand new realtor April 9th, 2015. Sorry about that. He has a master's in business administration and marketing. His past experience encompasses development and financing small and medium enterprises, and now developing real estate portfolios for his investor clients. So, welcome, Salman. As we go along, I will bring in more people as they're waiting in the room. I also ask everyone to please shut off their mics just so that there is no outside sound while we're having this session. So anyways, welcome aboard, everybody. And Salman, I would like to start with your professional journey prior to you getting involved with real estate. So places you worked and how your career panned out to be and how you ended up in this beautiful country of ours called Canada.
Thank you so much for first of all inviting me and talking about all this and giving me a chance to discuss about my work and how I established my business. So my journey started from Pakistan. I did my schooling in Peshawar, a beautiful city, and then I moved to Lahore and I did my master's from there. After I completed my master's, I joined a non-profit organization, which as an enterprise development. So we were basically working towards giving loans to small and medium enterprises. So I was making feasibilities and giving them loans to establish their business. I worked there for about 2 years, 2.5 years, and then I moved to Peshawar back to work with my father. My father always been in business. All my family or my background, my family, everybody mostly are belong to a business, have a business background. So I started
working.
So
was it industry based, Salman, or what was your father? What kind of business was he involved in? Was it industrialist or?
Yeah, so he was. We had one of the biggest importers of books and suppliers to all the major institutions of Pakistan, and publisher as well. So and then we had sales offices like we used to sell like stationaries and books and all these kind of. We had offices all over Peshawar, Islamabad, and Lahore. So it was a good experience, but I thought that it's not what I wanted to do. I always was looking to establish something of my own. Everybody knew my father in Peshawar and Islamabad, Lahore, and I just somehow didn't want to use his name, and I wanted to establish something on my own. So I left for London for 2 years. I was there. I studied, and I established my own. I was actually lucky to establish my own work there, and I was doing a job as well. So that was the experience I gained from there is coming along so far. I learned a lot because when I left for London, I told my dad, that I'm not gonna work with you, and I'm gonna establish something on my own, and he let me go. So at some point in London, I almost spent about 2 months, and I thought that, what, I'm gonna just run out on my money and I won't have anything, and I have to ask my father for more money. But then, I met this guy, and we were in in a underground train station, and I just was talking to him. He was from Pakistan as well, but he was a very established businessman in London. So we had a chat, and he asked me, what am I doing here? And I just told him my story, and then he said, okay, why don't you just come and work for me? So that's how I started working in London. And I was working as a network administrator. I used to work for like 15 hours a day, every day, 7 days a week. And then I established a business in partnership with someone.
Trained you to be a realtor. So many hours working. That's our life,
Exactly,
isn't it?
exactly. So I've always, I think for me, it doesn't matter when you're doing business. You should not think of your hours. You know, you just got to give your all your time to business. So yeah, so I worked there for a couple of years. Then I went back to Pakistan because my family moved to Canada, and they wanted me to look after the work in Pakistan. So they called me back, and then I had to just a couple of years I had to stay there to just look after the work. And later on, when I got my immigration, I came to Canada, and
Right.
I ended up here. Yeah,
Which year was that?
I came here in 2003.
Right, right. So tell me this. So that then started your career, sort of, for your interest in real estate. You, however, didn't go straight into real estate. You did work in a different capacity in Canada prior to getting into it. But what got you really interested in it? Was it your own investments? Was it working in the industry with other people? Or was it just where the market was going? Where did real estate come into your life from being the son of a owner of a publishing house and working in that capacity?
So when I came to Canada, initially, my father, because of his business background, he opened a plastic recycling plant in Hamilton, and he wanted me to again join that, which because this country was new to me, so I didn't have to. So I just started working for it, and I worked there for him for about a year. Um, it was not. It was not again. It was not for me. I when I came here, I saw a lot of opportunity in real estate, and because my father had real estate investments here, so my interest came into real estate when I was buying and selling for my father. I was just helping him out, and then along the way, we started putting money in. Buying houses, renovating them, and selling them. So that's how I came in real estate,
Mm-hmm.
and it helped me all the way up to now. What I've learned back in those years. I remember my father had a really good friend who was his partner as well. He was a lawyer by profession, and I learned a lot from him about real estate because he was an immigration lawyer, so he had a lot of clients coming as an immigrant and then wanted to buy property here or wanted to invest. So I think that's where I learned a lot about real estate. Even I didn't have any license, but I was working with a friend who was a realtor and still is a good friend. So I used to even go for showings with him. I used to help him do the paperwork. I used to even do property search. MLS was very different at that point when I used to do it. But yeah, that was my experience when I came here, and that's what brought me to real estate. But then along when I was doing real estate, people told me that you need to have some kind of job experience here in Canada, and that would help you. And then because I had a experience working for nonprofits in Pakistan,
Mm-hmm.
I joined a nonprofit organization here, and I worked there for about 4 years or so. Alongside, I was doing my real estate as well. Um, And this organization basically was funded by Citizenship and Immigration Canada, and we used to help new immigrants, basically give them information and refer them to the information they're looking for. So that was another thing which I was doing, but again, my focus was real estate. So along that 4.5 year time, I did my gave my exams and got my license. And then the first thing I did, the first brokerage I joined was Sutton about 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And but I was still working for that organization, and I was working as a realtor. And it was very difficult to focus on either real estate or focus on my job. So
Mm-hmm.
then there was a time that I had to decide to, switch to either just stay with the job or just fully resign and then come into real estate. So I think that was the best decision of my life, that I resigned and I just came full-time in real estate. And since then, I don't have any regrets, and I'm
So
pretty
I have a
okay.
question. Where were you in your personal life when you decided to give up your job? Did you have children already? Were you?
So I was, the decision was very difficult because I was the only member of my family who was earning. I was not living with my parents, and I had to support my house. So when my wife, because she was not working, she was expecting our my son, who was our third child. And then, I got, because I had a job, so and she was not working, so I got the parental leave. And in that 1 year, I decided that I'll get some support, and I switched to real estate full time. And as soon as it ended, I resigned. So that's how I
So it
switched
kind
my.
of worked for you having the baby at that time because you could
Oh
take
yeah,
the paternal leave.
100%,
Yeah,
100% it worked for me.
it's lovely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it is extremely scary to give up your job where you're making, paychecks and go towards something which is, but I guess it did help that you had a lot of experience in the business and you kind of trusted and believed in the business already, because obviously you'd made money for your family and your friends, and you'd already been working in that establishment.
And that's true,
um
that it really helped. My previous experience really helped me.
mhm,
Before even I got my license in real estate,
mhm.
I had actually had who knew me as that I do something in real estate. So they used to call me that, I want to sell my house, I want to buy buy a house, I want to do renovation. So all those years when I was not licensed, but I was still working in it, it kind of created that image, which
Of
is, I
course.
always say, is very important for a realtor to have that image of a realtor. That when you go somewhere, people know you as a realtor. Even I was not a realtor, but people knew me as a realtor. So I think
Yes.
that helped me a lot, and that made me that made it easier for me to kind of resign and come into this, because I knew that I had some certain database that I can work on, and I was not like just jumping into it. And then other thing which helped me was when I used to come to the brokerage, and I used to come to brokerage a lot, and then I used to see other realtors and talk to them, and the support from them, and everybody encouraged me to come in real estate full time, and then you'll be successful. And I think that was the right decision.
Right, right, right. So you mentioned something about contract work. I know that you did plenty of that at one point. Um, Tell me, how was that? Was that something that aided your business? That was something that became a sideline and profitable for you? Would you advise other realtors, like, should they have a sideline that they work in? Is it complicated? Is this the way to go because you have something else to offer your clients?
So construction or reno work, it really helped me a lot in my business. I know a lot about properties. I walk into a house and I can tell you exactly what to be done. Uh, when I deal with contractors with past experience, they cannot cheat me any way or form. I know the prices. I know everything about real estate, about renovation or construction. But there's pros and cons about this. in one way, yes, it helped me a lot in building my business, because if you buy somebody a house and then your next thing they ask you is to do their basement or do their kitchen or washroom or whatever, and you know what, you have that bond with them and they call you for everything. So that's amazing. But then there are some issues with it, because when you're dealing with contractors, you don't have control on that, right? It's not something which you're doing. You're just putting your contractors there to work. And if they do something wrong, that can jeopardize your relationship with your client, which is more important as a real contractor, right? Because you're making money as a realtor. On construction, you make money, but it's nothing. So so you have to be careful when you if you want to do construction for your clients or renos for your clients. It's good, you make money, but you have to be very careful that if something goes wrong, it's gonna ruin your relationship with that client. So there are pros and cons. You learn about it. It's amazing. Now over the years, I have the way I used to do renovations, I have stopped it. I do renovation projects, but if I try to do it independent project instead of doing it with a client who's my real estate client, unless I know them very well, and over the years I've developed this relationship with the contractors, so I exactly know which contractor to use, and and it's not gonna put me in trouble. So yeah, that's my point of view about it. There are pros and cons, so you have to be careful when you do renovations for your real estate clients.
So I have a side question to ask. So obviously, it taught you a lot about houses. It got you that belly to belly relationship with your clients, where you are feeling that you're really part of the process of them not just moving into a house, but settling into a house, understanding the property, all of that. But it did have the cons where sometimes we all know contractors are hard to deal with, and that it all lays the burden on you, and it's stressful. You've done a great service for your clients, and now you're turning around and you're having a really bad impression on the client, because the client is actually looking at the contractor as a extension of you. However, I want to ask you, would you think that experience would ever lead you into development rather than just real estate? Would you ever think of going into construction and development as a career line?
I personally think that development it's a great great opportunity and market to work in. I don't know, maybe in future. I haven't thought about it, but I keep searching and looking into it, because there are some investors who I work with who want to come in development and who want to buy land and develop it. So it's I'm trying to educate myself more, because development is not something or for everyone. You need to have a lot of knowledge about buying a land and zoning and and all to deal with city. So I'm learning about it. You never know in future, if I think, because I have investors who are interested in it, I might go into it. Yes, it is part of what I want to do in future. Yes,
Sure,
but
sure.
I'm still learning about it.
Mm. It's always an interesting thought, even in my mind. So now we're going to move a little bit more towards the investor aspect of your business, because obviously from the start, what you said is that's exactly what you were doing. Even before becoming a realtor, you were helping people build up their investments. Um, what percentage you think out of, just because I'm trying to bring in the aspect of investors being repeat clients, right? How much of your business is repeat client? How many people are brand new that you deal with in your portfolio?
Um, so over the years, when I came in real estate, so, and I was working with end users and mostly with investors. So I noticed that working with investor is much more easier, and it's you. So with the end user, you buy them a house. If it's a young couple, they might do another transaction with you, and so in a span of 5 to 7 years, they might do 2 transactions with you, and that's it. So they would move once, and then after they have kids and all that, they would move another house, and that's it, they're done. With investors, it's completely different because they will keep on buying and selling. So over the years, I developed this niche with investors, and my focus, main focus is investors right now. Most of my business, which is coming from investors, I would say about 60% or 70% of my business is coming from investors, and rest is coming from end users or other clients. So for me, investor is very important for your business. And if you have, I would say, 10 good investors in your portfolio, I think you can live on it. It's so easy because I've developed this thing for investors that I work on their budget. I work on what exactly they want, and GTA market is amazing. The whole Ontario is amazing for investors. Over the years, the way market has evolved, and it has given so much to investors. So the return on investment is unbelievable.
Right.
You can compare it anywhere in the world. It's unbelievable there. So I
So
think
it's an easy sell, especially, but you are, even though they're investors, they're most of them are repeat clients for you, from what
yes.
I'm
So
hearing.
yeah. So most of my clients are investors.
Right, right. And they all repeat because
Oh, so
they've made money once. It's easy for you to convince them, and this is another thing what you said about an end user, anybody owning one property, and you're looking at something like 10 or 15% increase on a minimum annually, right? In 10 years, they've doubled the value of their property. The equity has grown so much that it's an easy sell to make, is that, take out equity from that property and reinvest.
exactly. And I think when you start working with investors, your mindset changes as well. And then, and I would say that I have actually converted a lot of end users into investors.
Mhm.
And because when I work with investors, my mindset changed as well. And I started thinking, um, my mindset, I started thinking like, how can I talk to these end users and convince them to invest? Because over the years, people have made a lot of money in their real estate, and so I always am talking to them, these end users, and guiding them that if this money is, let's say if somebody has a paid off house, $1 million, and I've actually done that with end user, and the money is sitting there in the property. What is the use of that money if the house is paid? It doesn't do anything for them. So I actually refinanced their property and took that money out, and we invested that money in 3, 4 other properties. And now these people have become investors, and they are keep doing that. They're refinancing and putting their money in. So that's how I actually, working with investors, helped me to change my mindset and guide my end users to become investors.
So this leads me to my other question, Saman. I mean, obviously you're in this business and you're successfully in this business, and we all know that we need a support group around us to build our businesses. Um, are there any key roles that you have worked with to help you, get successful and get where you are?
I think I have developed very good relationship with some people around me, and they have pushed me to here. And starting from mortgage broker to bankers, and honestly, I don't work with a lot of people. I have been working and developed my relationship with few people. Like I used a mortgage broker, and I've been working with him for 13 years, even before I came to real estate as a licensed realtor. And then same, like, I have the support of the brokerage, which is very important, I think, to be successful. And I would like to mention in last few years, the support I got from Sabiha and David, always been there. I call them, I ask them questions, and they're always there for me. So I think all these people have given me a lot of support. Even when I was in Sutton, when we used to be at Burlington and Kirby location, for me, it was important that I come to the brokerage every day, because I used to meet realtors, I used to talk to them, and that just supported me so much. And you have to be around positive people. I think that is very important, be around positive people. And that makes you do things positively. And I think that's the key in this business, to be around successful and positive people.
Right, right. I think that's a convincing, to be convincing, you have to have a good news to give to people, right? And if you're down and under, then it's hard for people to follow what you're saying and doing.
Just
Um,
just stay away from negative people. Just
right.
stay away from them. You got to be with people who have done good, who are successful, and just be around them and talk
Or
to them.
possibly turn the negative people into positive people.
Exactly.
Right? So here's a question. So you're also working with a lot of international investors, the people that are either not resident here, or they are expats, and they're working in other countries with Canadian citizenship. What do you do to keep them interested in the GTA market? What do you do to keep them connected and believing in this market, that it is worthy of investment?
See, I think over the years, so much data is available now to everyone, that anyone can anyone can see how GTA or Ontario market has moved. And for me, it was easier to talk about GTA market, or how much growth came in last few years here. So it was kind of easy for me to give them all those stats, because it's true, the GTA, the way the market has gone, it's unbelievable. Like, and then especially the low interest rates, and uh, you know uh, uh, the prices, the way they're going up, the demand, so much demand of real estate here, and the development coming here. So it was very easy for me to convince. And secondly, when I work with investors, I try to give them, um, I say it always, a turnkey um, uh, thing, that they, once they invest, they don't have to do anything, because these international investors, what they're not looking to handle anything over here. So if you can handle everything for them, and actually uh, starting from property management, it's very important when you work with international investors, that you can do property, you should be able to do property management, because
Mm-hmm.
they love that. They just love that, it's everything is taken care of. And that's what I've done over the years. It keeps me busy. It's a lot of work, but the result is phenomenal. They just trust me like anything now. So and then it's so easy to work with them, because once you develop that relationship, they won't go anywhere else. They would just come to you, because they know that it's going to be a turnkey thing for them, from buying to to running the lease, taking care of any issues, and to sell, everything done. And they love me so much, because they're sitting in Dubai or Pakistan or wherever, and property is bought for them, property is being leased for them, any issues taken care of, property is sold for them, and they're not even here. Everything is done. So that's the kind of relationship I developed, and I think they just love it.
Right. So you stay a busy man because of that, and I think you stay a busy man in your industry, which keeps you gives you that air of, that's your life. You're eating, drinking, breathing real estate, right? And I think that's so important, because if you stay busy within a certain industry, you emit that cloud of, everything about it, and you've taken care of your clients in that way.
And that's true. Over
So
the
you
years, I
became
think
a
I've just I just think real estate. I think if you want to be successful realtor, you just have to be a realtor. You just have to think as a realtor. You have to walk as a realtor. You just have to be a realtor.
walk the talk.
Yeah.
Or talk the walk. So you've been a realtor only since 2015. It's not like a 20-25 year period, but in a matter of these six and a half years, you've really. I mean, I see your numbers, so I know how well you're doing for yourself, and every year how well you do for yourself, in terms of positive growth. Um, what would you say is to build a truly successful business with phenomenal growth? Share like five key roles and practices that would help someone grow their business in a consistent way.
I think for me, uh, goal setting is number one. You should have your goal. Um, any part of business you want to do, anything you want to do in your life, I think goal setting is the most important thing. I always tell my kids that set yourself goals. If you can set yourself goals, you'll be successful. Without a goal, if you don't have a goal, I give this example of to my kids that if I give you the car, go out, you don't have any goal, what are you gonna do? You just keep roaming around on the roads and just come back. But if you have a goal that I tell you, go pick up this from this place and come back. Now your goal, you'll go there, you'll pick that stuff and you come back. So I think goal setting is very important in your life. And I set my goals, and believe it or not, I actually write my goals, and then I just keep reading about it. I just keep reading my goals every day. Sometimes I do that, and for some reason I achieve it. I just my mind. I've seen if you write your goals and you read or you look at it every day, your mind actually starts working towards it. You don't even know, and it starts working towards it. And that helped me a lot. For me, goal setting is number one. Number two is probably networking. Uh, I spend a lot of time networking. I, it's so much so that sometimes, and now I've involved my wife in this as well. So we, because she's a businesswoman as well. She runs a med spa. So we have over the years developed this, and we do a lot of networking. It's very important for your business to network with people, to meet people, to talk about real estate. It's very important networking. For me, third is to be connected with your clients. Um, it is very important, and I'm lacking somewhere because believe it or not, my database is still not completed. I'm working on it, but I have my own ways to be connected with my clients, and I do that on a regular basis. Whether you call them or whether you send them something or whether you wish them on their birthdays, whatever, but you have to be connected with your clients. And believe me, I've sold so many pre-construction properties by just giving them a call and just letting them know that something came up, this is a new development, you should look into it, just sending them an email, and they just come and buy it. So it's very easy. You should have a database. You should be talking about real estate. Don't be shy. If you think something is nice, something is good investment, do share it with your clients. Always share it with your clients. You never know, they will come back to you. So that is really important. Then I think staying positive and self-motivation is again worry, because there are times when you're not going to have clients. They're going to be months, or you're not going to see anyone, or you're not going to do any deal. So that time period is, you have to do two things, and the fifth is going to be part of this, that you will stay positive, you will stay motivated. Don't lose that. Stay around positive people in that time period. Just talk to them, and that's the time when you do self-development or your business development. I think that's the time when you don't have any clients. That's the time you do all these things. Because when you're busy, you don't get time to do these things. So when you're not busy, you should be developing your business. You should be doing professional development. That's my fifth point as well. That's
Yeah,
very important.
right. So, Samar, it's really interesting how you started with goal setting. Because I always think about it in this way, right? Like if I want to achieve a certain weight, or if I want to build myself up physically in a certain way, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not only the activity of today, right? You set a goal for 3 months or 6 months ahead. And if you have your plan for the whole year set out, and you know that by December, this is where and it doesn't necessarily have to be sales oriented, right? It can be a new product you start selling. It can be a new market that you tap in. But if you have your goal set as the primary stepping stone of your year ahead, right? It makes you work towards it. And then you never lose hope, because if I don't have a client today, I know what my goal is ahead and I'm working towards it. So you spend your time either networking or building your CRM, or staying more connected with people, or going and finding more developments and getting more informed about pre-construction or another product. And I know that you yourself personally have grown out of GTA a lot as well. It's not easy to start selling in Paris and Cambridge and Woodstock. You have been selling basically literally all over the province. So even just finding out areas and finding out where and what to sell to clients, that takes up a lot of time. And now you have something else to talk about and something else, because you already had a goal in front of you, and all the time that's spent from today till that goal is achieved is actually working on something positive. Because now I don't look a certain way, I'm not feeling a certain way, this exercise is really hard, but I'm getting to that level, right? That strength level.
That is true. And again, when I have time and I don't have clients, I keep exploring. Where is a good investment? I keep exploring markets. I keep studying the prices out of GTA. So I have this to offer to my investors. So and something comes up interesting, I start talking to my investors. Again, when you free time, you have to develop your business. You have to um, uh, do your professional development. Very important. All these aspects of goal setting or networking or staying connected. These are all very important for to be a good realtor. I think it
Hmm.
has helped me, and I'm pretty sure it will help everyone.
I guess to run any successful business. So here's your question: is how many hours a week do you think you work?
um, I just try to start my day early as sometimes 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. Um, I think for me, starting the day early is important. Uh, I ever count my hours. So if you're a realtor, you should not count your hours. I think to make it successful, you have to give time to real estate. It's not
Right.
it's not a 7 hour job. If you think that you'll be doing 7 hours, it's not going to work. You have to give time to real estate. And I know that um, all these years I've one thing where I lack is that I've not given enough time to my family, which I try to do on daily basis, give them some time. But it is true that a realtor has a tough life. It's not easy. You have to start early and you have to finish late. that's the only
Yes.
way you can be
And
successful.
I think having fun along the way is really important too, right? And I know that you have a lot of interests that actually cater to that, right? It makes you feel positive, it makes you feel happy, it makes you do things that you love, and while you're doing things that you love, have brought you business, right? Working on real estate, guys, is not sitting in front of your computer just browsing through MLS. You're not going to get any business out of that. You have to put yourself out. You have to go meet people. I know for a fact, Salman, you do a lot of things that are promoting to that. I know you socialize a lot. You socialize maybe 5, 6 times a week. You're out, and you have another hobby as well, which I think has helped you with your business as well. Would you like to share that with us?
Yeah, so because real estate is not it keeps you busy, and you get tired, and you're mentally exhausted. So I have a hobby of I like motorbikes, and I've been riding motorbikes since 2014, 15, a couple of years now. So I'm part of these groups. I have my own group as well. So we go out. So I take time on Saturday. Saturday morning, I just don't do anything. I mean, still I'm on my phone, um, um, but I try to not do anything for Saturday morning. I leave 7 o'clock on motorbike. We just choose a location. I do about 500 kilometers a day on Saturday and come back. So that's something which, when I'm on bike, it helps me just to clear my mind and be ready for the whole week again. Uh, because of that, I got in touch with a lot of people who are bikers, and believe it or not, I got a lot of business from them as well. Um, these are all established people, and when I meet them, I we have we have parties. Only bikers are invited there, and and they know me. I'm a realtor, and they talk about real estate, and they want to know information, and that's how I got a lot of my clients. Um, Apart from that, I think for a realtor is very important, because it is a time consuming, and it is not an easy business, because you have a lot of pressure of closing. Something happens, and or anything can happen before a closing, right? So all that stress, I think, for a realtor, exercise and eating proper food is very important. And I've been doing that for over the years. I try to exercise every day, whatever I can. I have a gym at house, so I try to do that, and I try to eat, watch my diet. You know, I think that everything together makes you healthy and keeps your mindset to work as a realtor. I think, and I also think that I've for me it worked. Your dress up is very important. Uh, if you can uh, if you walk somewhere and you can sell yourself, you can sell anything. So if I walk in there and people look at me and they just, without knowing me, just say that, are you a realtor? That is what you want to do. So that's very important. Um, Everything, to exercise, to eat proper. Mm, I have a hobby of motorbikes, but you can have some other hobby, and that way you can meet people with same mutual interest, and you can get business from there. So yeah, that helped me a lot.
So, Man, you've evolved your brand. I know, from your number plate to your logo to your business card to um, and like you said, you become your own brand as well, right? You're a certain way, and whatever your interest is, that is what is important. Um, what would you say, like, your growing business module and product, like moving forward, what would you tell everybody is the, where would you like to take your business and excel in it?
Um, I think branding is very important for your business. Believe it or not, I have my majors is in marketing, but I have a lot of interest in advertising, and this idea of SJ actually came from my father, because his business and the people who knew my father knew him as MJ, because his name is Muhammad Jamil. So everybody in business community, and he was president of the business community in Peshawar, right? The whole community. So his business name was M. So that was the idea which came to my mind, that what, why not I just use the same way my father used MJ, I use SJ, and I did my branding, and then everything, I changed my number plate, I did my business cards, everything was SJ. So people know me from SJ Homes now. So I think it is very important. Uh, I give you example of Sam McDaddy. He's an excellent agent. He's an amazing realtor. He has become a brand now. So people go to him because he has a brand. So I think it is very important that you make yourself a brand. So once you have a brand, people will come to you. That's one aspect of it. Sorry, what was your second question?
Second question was that what do you think is the product that you're leading into? Because I know that you developed from
Yeah,
buying houses that you needed
yeah,
to renovate, and then you went more and more into investors. What is your vision, and what
yeah.
is your product that you're
So
selling from now on forward?
yeah, so I think working with investors, and as I spoke about business development. So I think we should not stick to just one part of real estate by just catering one side of real estate and not doing it. So over the years, I think that pre-construction or new development is very important. Um, uh, it has phenomenal growth in Canada or in Ontario, and I think I've conveyed this to my investors, and I'm working on it, and I'm developing in something which um, I will share in future. I'm working on it right now. It's in, and you guys will soon see something really nice coming up in new development pre-construction. So I'm developing that. I have switched my investors' focus from resale to new development, because there's a lot you can do in new development. There is unbelievable growth in new development, and not a lot of realtors, they work on new development, but uh, I can tell you that if you work in new development, uh, you can actually do a lot of business, because it's I know that it's a future development, and you will not get paid right away. But once you start that cycle, you're not going to be worried about next year. You won't be worried about your three years ahead. You've already made that money. So I think look into new development or pre-construction, and you should motivate your investors, your clients, to invest in it. And
So, someone I'm going to add a little bit, because I know you and I have the same thought on this, is that, guys, you don't have to go after that one project that everybody and their donkeys are selling. Okay, because more than likely that project is going to be mostly investors, and buildings that are mostly investors, they don't have the same appreciation as end user pre-construction, right? We saw that with Absolute in Mississauga. There's still product there that is lying unsold. M Condos was the same. You had lineups of people, and now every day you get an email from M Condos because they have so much inventory left. So I really encourage everybody, and I know that Salman does this. He, go into better builders, better developing companies. For instance, Baker or Intuition or any one of these that will be having more reliable construction coming out of them, right? You can go directly to Tridel. You can find out all these products that are available, and it's not a rat race there. and your clients will still do really well because it's a forward, it's a speculated price, but more than likely from what we've been seeing, your investments are safe, right? So am I right about that, Salman? What
Yes,
do you
and
feel
I
about
think
that?
it's also to understand that one, you have to develop that relationship with the builder. Very important to get hold of those units. And the second is you have to understand that in new development there's a end user product and there is a investor product. So you have to understand new development um, to present or to offer the right product to your client. Every development is not for investors and every development is not for end users. So you have to understand that and work accordingly. But again, you gotta have to have the knowledge of new development. So I think everybody should look into it. It's very important. If you want to grow your business apart from resale, you should work on new development as well.
Next question,
And
Salman.
I
Do you
think
work?
one
Sorry.
thing I want to mention that I don't know if a lot of realtors know about it or not, but our brokerage has developed this relationship with Spectrum and Intuition, and these are big marketing companies who have all these projects. So I think we have a really good opportunity here to work in new development, and everybody should have a chance to work in it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, periodically we send out emails as to what we have as inventory, and I do encourage everybody to take that opportunity and work behind the brand. Um, my last question, Salman, do you have like a fixed marketing budget? Do you think about it annually that, oh, this is what I'm going, or by deals? Like, how do you work your marketing budget, and what do you mostly put it towards?
I think marketing budget is important. Um, uh, I think everybody should spend at least 7 to 10% on their marketing. Um, I have most of my business was coming from referrals and investors, but now I have started making my uh, website and my brand. I've changed everything. I've spent money on it. I think it's very important aspect of our business to have a proper marketing budget and spend on it. It's going to give you something. It's important. Um, I'm
Marketing also leads to, if your business is coming from referrals, marketing is also leading into soft marketing, right? It doesn't have to be print media or it doesn't have to be virtual. It can literally be a lot of stuff that you do, networking, right? All of these things have an expense, and you can actually
so yeah,
expense it out.
exactly. Exactly. So the way I do my marketing is different, right? I do networking in a way that I do parties. I would just call my clients for dinner or take them out. So I have that budget which I spend on my clients, and then they become word of mouth, and they would talk to other people. So yeah, you have to marketing is important, and some people do it differently. I do it this way. You should have at least 10% of whatever you make should go towards the marketing.
Right. Thank you so much, Saman. If anybody does have a question, we can quickly, you guys can unmute and
One
go
more thing
ahead
I
and
just want
ask
to
your
mention
question.
that
Yeah, of course.
um, in develop my business, it's very important that you should come to the brokerage. I think you learn a lot. I prefer to work from the brokerage, and that's why I have an office here. I think it's important that people should look into this, meet people here, come here. Everybody's here to help. I think our brokerage environment is amazing, and I always get so much information when I meet everybody here. So hopefully I see you guys here, all of you.
Um, Thanks for joining us, Yagnish. We appreciate that a lot. Yagnish is saying thank you for
Thank you
a
so
great
much,
session,
Agnish.
Saman. Um, so yeah, I don't know if there's any more questions, but yet again, Saman, thanks, and thanks for the shout out for the brokerage. I do believe that this is true. I've been a few years more than um than Salman in this brokerage as a realtor, and I do totally believe in this. You know, and the learning doesn't stop, right? It's between all of us. I learn from everybody here, and I think we all pick our brains and we all troubleshoot together, and we're all in this together. So yeah, absolutely, you know, guys, come as often as you can and hang out with us here. All right, great session. Thank you, Salman,
Thank you
and
so much
everybody
for,
else.
thank you so much, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.